Hey y'all, this is Egress Adam with a replay from World of Warships and my Tier 3 Japanese cruiser, the Tenryu. At least that's how I think you say it, I'm not sure. This is an encounter battle. I can't remember the name of the map. I don't know the maps on this game yet. As you can see, both teams they're pretty stacked on destroyers. 4 on my team, 5 on the other. And this was a pretty decent team. We hung back, we formed a line, and we reacted to how the enemy team deployed, which I think is the best way to do it. Unfortunately, you don't get a lot of those in wargaming, but occasionally you do, and it works out excellent. Initially, I knew I didn't want to run up and be on the front line and be the main target for the enemy, so I kind of hung back in between these two islands you see me headed to. I knew I didn't want to go back in there because that's where the destroyers generally hang out at. When you're fighting one destroyer, that's one thing, but when you're fighting 5 of them, that's not stacked in your favor. So right now we're just kind of cruising around waiting for targets to appear and see what they got to do. I'll look through there because I'm looking to see if I can see any destroyers coming into that channel. And there's the first spotting. Looks like a cruiser. I think that's what that was. And that's a cruiser. So I start maneuvering in case he starts shooting at me. Try to dodge the fire, keep the land between me and them. And as I'm turning here, you'll see I start getting the land warning that I'm going to run ashore. So you see me throttle down, and if you do that and you try to turn, sometimes you can make that turn and you won't beat yourself. But you see me there fire defensive torpedoes into that channel, and that's just to keep anything at bay that might come through there. My throttle and back plan didn't work there, so I had to back up. And you can see all their destroyers right there, and they're just swarming like little flies. I do manage to get one of them, surprisingly enough. It's a crapshoot, but hey, in my world it worked today. And at least it's a damage. It's going to make him change his playing style a little bit. So I turn to my left and I start moving in towards the cap circle. I don't really want to get in. I want to be more of a support role in this one. You can see the first destroyer coming through the channel. I don't think my torpedoes had reloaded at this time, but I figure I would push. And how I missed these torpedoes, I will never know. Out of all them torpedoes, I only catch 1, 2 at the most is beyond me. that was blind luck. So I fired some torpedoes to get them away from me, so it'd make them harder to set up and fire more torpedoes at me. And another thing I'm doing here is I'm trying to keep these guys in sight and keep them shooting at me so my teammates can put fire down on them. And they actually did a very good job of doing it, whether it wasn't intentional. But they did do a good job. They were paying attention to their maps and to where the battle was at. And everyone knows that the destroyers are the first things you want to get rid of, if at all possible. There we go, he's down. They start putting fire on this next destroyer. And at this point I start pulling back to regroup and re-attack. Get away from the limelight, and you have this guy off to my right here. You'll see here in a minute. Of course I knew there was torpedoes on the way. So yeah, those were easy to dodge. I wish they were all that easy. Yep. There he is, sitting there. Perfect planning. And I opted not to shoot 2 salvos of torpedoes at him just because I knew 1 would be enough to kill him, and he's beached. I don't know if he just couldn't get unstuck, or he just thought he was going to win the battle like that. So at this point I turn back around. I start heading back into the cap circle to support the team that's already there. Looks like I got 4 ships up there. We're up 5-2. And I just, kudos to these destroyers on our team. They played perfect games, just absolutely excellent. They worked together. They stayed in the back. They kept torpedoes going. They knew what they were doing. I see this cruiser here, so I was hoping right after I dodged his torpedoes. So I was hoping to get torpedoes on him because he looks like he's one of the magnificent ones that like to sit still and try to win the game. Good luck with that. Let me know how that works out for you. So I kind of figured their other destroyer was around here somewhere, so I would put those torpedoes out in hopes to kill the little rat. And like I said, I was going to shoot torpedoes at this guy, but I saw those other 2 destroyers on the other side. No, that's too close for me. Because if for some reason I missed it, I would have taken out my own destroyers, and I won't do that. So I disengaged. But here in just a second, I'll show you where. You're going to hear the worst sound you can possibly hear. You should start hearing it any minute now, or second actually. When I start, yeah, here we go. Yep, there it is. Ooh, don't like that sound. Bad sound. So I knew I was going to miss this torpedo, so I start turning to engage these other 2 targets off my left side. You see the St. Louis steaming through the channel. Again, I was going to put harassing fire on him. Just try to keep him on fire or whatever I could do to help my teammate. And there's the little fly there. You have that one fly that likes buzzing around your head and just you can't get. That was that destroyer. But kudos to him. In all reality, he was a good DD driver. He knew what he was doing. I wasn't expecting to get that kill, but I did. I'm a kill stealer. That's how I roll. So, they got 3 targets left. One of them is a destroyer, a cruiser, and a battleship. And the cruiser's way on the other side of the map. And they get him, so I figured I wanted to go after this destroyer. I mean, he was he knew he knew how to play the destroyer. He kept at a distance and used his abilities the best he could. There we go. Dodging torpedoes like it's nobody's business. Juking and driving, cranking and banking. I think I get him on this salvo here. Oh, miss. Pay attention to shooting school. And there we go. He's gone. So now we focus on this battleship. You see me throttle back so I can make that turn.
Torpedoes to starboard.
He fired some torpedoes in advance. Luckily, I just kept moving straight. I didn't turn. And this battleship, I knew I wanted to get him with torpedoes, but I had to get in a range to do it, and that took some maneuvering to keep the islands between me and him. and I knew he was going to be distracted by the other two destroyers on this side and the other cruiser coming up to support them. So I think here I start putting fire down on him. Or not. But he was outside of my torpedo range there. So I didn't worry about firing torpedoes. I don't know why I did that. And this battleship, he took a pretty good beating, and he took it. He fought a good fight. So there we go. I fired some torpedoes. I knew they would never hit. That's a long ways away to shoot a torpedo. So now I start firing HE shells at him, trying to do module damage. I don't think he has seen me yet, or if he may not even turn his guns towards me yet. He may be focusing on that cruiser that's coming up to him, because I don't even know what that cruiser was that was coming up on the other side of that island. See him burning there, and I believe he uses his repair kit to put the fire out. He's probably getting tired of getting shot and hearing the damage being done to his boat. Yeah, so he's going to win against that destroyer, or I'm sorry, cruiser. No, or is that a battleship? I think that's a battleship he's fighting. He's going to win that battle. You can see the fire goes out, and I'm immediately setting back on fire again. So I fire torpedoes. You'll see me fire one salvo. I fire there. Then I wait. Try to see if he's going to react, to give him a little bit of space. And he doesn't move. He didn't even try. I think at this point he knew the game was over. And he was just accepting his fate for what it was. You can see incoming fire coming in from the other ships. And any second now. You'll see, there we go. There's my torpedoes entering the screen there. We're going to get him here. The fishes have landed. Well, that's this replay, guys. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all have a good one. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Y'all have a good day.